Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning, racing fans. Welcome to Pimlico Racecourse. Naomi Tucker, joined by the voice of the Mid-Atlantic Circuit, Dave Rodman, gearing up for a big day of racing here. 3 stakes races coming up. The Match Series, Dave. What are you looking forward to most?
I want to see Hello Beautiful. Everybody wants to see her. Of course, she's going to be a short price. And the deputed testimony, I think, is one heck of a race, really betting-wise. And I think those 2 races, at Chaladon's going to be a good one, too. Looking forward to trying to pick a winner today in the 7th race, I think it is.
That is a tricky one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being correct in the 7th race, because I'll tell you, I spent about 20-25 minutes looking at that race over and over, changed my mind. We'll get to that in just a little bit. I know our picks disagree, and that's this kind of race it is. So I think that's kind of the key today to our Rainbow Pick 6 and a late Pick 5.
I know the feeling going back and forth between horses in a tricky and competitive race and field. And as you highlighted, a 3 stakes race is very much looking forward to Hello Beautiful in the Alma North, maybe providing Sheldon Russell with his 1500th career win. That would be quite something special if that happens. And that we'll talk about that in a second in the lightning round as well. The Challenger Stakes deputed testimony. I agree with you. Those races are very, very good from a betting point of view as well. We'll get to those in just a second, and we'll lay out our handicapping opinions. But the Match Series were a local initiative that's really highlighted some of the talents here. And Dave, you've seen it kind of develop, haven't you? Yeah,
the Match Series is a great idea. Back again this year, the Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred Championships, different divisions. Horses get points for finishes and trainer bonuses. So it helps keep the horses in the region, running at the different tracks, gets a little bit of a rivalry going with some of the horses in each division. Great series, and the trainers love it. The fans love it too.
Well, what is horse racing without a good bit of rivalry? So very good point there. Looking forward to seeing some of these horses take each other on again, as we'll have a look at the track conditions. Main track fast, firm turf course here, and a beautiful little breeze, isn't it?
Look at that. That's not a typo right there. You see that? 7-0. 70 here in Baltimore now. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 miles per hour. Just a kind of a perfect day, really fast, firm, and we're out 20 feet, as you see on the video there. The rail set out at 20 feet. Good bit of rain, a couple of nights ago, but that turf course just soaked it right up. Good yesterday, firm today.
Yeah, it's been holding up very well. And that 70 Fahrenheit, a very welcome change
Fahrenheit,
from some
what is it Celsius?
That's what I do always have to say.
Do you do the conversion? Can you
No, not by the top of my Actually, 70 Fahrenheit would probably be like 20? 20 Celsius?
Well, it's 20
like
degrees outside then.
Yeah,
it
20 degrees
20.
Celsius. Absolutely perfect temperatures.
20,
I know about
20
70
Celsius degrees.
I think something about that. I can't do the math that fast. I always have to say Fahrenheit behind it because I still normally think in Celsius. It's in Celsius on my phone.
It's 20 for you, 70 for us. Okay.
Exactly, but a welcome change from some of those higher temperatures that we've seen in the last couple of weeks for us, the broadcasters, but especially for the horses and riders. As you highlighted, Dave, perfect racing conditions here. Let's get going. 9 race card, 3 stakes races on offer. Early pick 5 starts in race number 1. 6 furlong sprinting distance here, claiming level 16 to 12.5. Non-winners at 2 lifetime. We'll start with your top pick, Dave. I have Royal Thunder underneath, but you think that this is going to be his day to get a second career victory aboard because he's been running for a while.
Joseph Israel is obviously the gelding to beat in here, but I'm going to take a step up to the bat. I'm going to swing. I might miss, but I'm going to take a swing here with Royal Thunder. I thought his last race rounded him back into form. He had kind of a hidden rough trip in that race, steady to the start. He had an outside journey. He finished on willingly, and Jorge Ruiz is coming back here for Carlos Mencia. They've got a great percentage together. Ruiz, Mencia gets the one hold. I'm hoping for a clean break from the gate. This horse used to have a decent amount of early speed going that 1-turn mile at Laurel, and okay speed too here at Pimlico. So with Ruiz back aboard, they hit a 16% rate and a positive ROI. I thought his last race a little bit better than that running line appears, and taking a stab with him here in the opener.
I like it, Dave. I'm absolutely here for a bit of a price swing. I do go with Joseph Israel, I do believe named after a Dutch painter, first off the claim for Thomas McMahon. He's been right there sprinting on the dirt at allowance level and had an excuse in his last dirt try. Yeah,
well, you claim off of Damon Dillavico, what are you going to get? He claimed him for 16, he's in for 12.5. Now, the McMahon barn does okay. You know, they're really small, stable. They don't really reach in and claim a lot of horses. They've had some success, and others have just kind of flatlined a little bit. But this horse definitely fits if he can run back to any of his top races or close to it in here. And he's good. He's spotted well. Will they take him back today for the 12.5, or will somebody reach in for the 12.5 is a question.
Yeah, always good to keep following so the claiming game and see who goes where. Both of us also use the number 4 subject to change and the number 6 Pepe and Haywood as we turn the page for race number 2. 6 furlongs the distance there for the ladies, claiming 10 to 8. No one's a 2 lifetime as well. And as you can see, we kind of go with the same horses here, right, Dave? Right. Just a little bit different order. Do love the Boss of You who you've picked on top. He hooked up early with Supreme Blessing, who I use as a price play in here because I thought Supreme Blessing has a little bit more early speed, but the Boss of You, to her credit, covered more ground and had more left leg. Yeah,
that was the difference. Supreme Blessing actually was a little sharper last time out, and Tim Keefe barn is the second sign back in that barn. Boss of You lost a lot of ground. Miss Old Bay was a drop-in sure thing, almost winner on paper and by the racing fans wagering on July 10th. So it was a good second. There wasn't much between them really at the wire, only a couple of lengths. And this is the second in the cycle here for Tim Keefe for Supreme Blessing. I certainly see your top pick in this spot, but I decided to maybe go to the safe side after stepping up with a swing in the opener.
Yeah, well, I ended up using number 4, make it a double in my exacta. First off the claim for Anthony Ferrier, who does really well. He's got a 22% winnage. And Sheldon. Now, we're going to talk about this in a second. Sheldon, of course, looking for that 1,500 Rin. Will be keen to get one. Do wonder, though, if he's more looking forward to getting it on Hello Beautiful.
Well, Ferrier claimed last out for 10, in for 10. Good thing is Scarlett Tanager, recent winner again this weekend at Delaware. Obviously faced tougher in Larimar, 3 back. So she'll be a short price and got to get it done with her best race. I think it's a little bit of an open race here. So 3 1, 6, and 4. Renomis, I thought, finished sneaky good last time out too, sprinting. The horse that he beat and maiden 10 here at Pimlico, May 31st, a mixed best bet yet, came back to break maiden, and I thought ran an okay second at Colonial Downs just the other day, just missed in a pretty good effort. There's not much between them here. I think hopefully maybe the Bossy you'll get my trip. You're hoping, I think, Supreme Blessing to get a little a good trip, maybe improving second off here for the Keefe barn.
Yeah, those were exactly my thoughts. Second for a decent stable and only 2 lengths in between them. I was hoping to get a better price when it's not that much different, and it does depend on the trip that both are going to get. As we move on to race number 3, 5.5 furlongs of distance. Exciting race here. We had a terrific 2-year-old event yesterday, one again here, maiden special weights. Let's have a look at the number 2 Buffalo in his last outing. We do have his final quarter there. You can see him ranging up there in between horses. We know that's not the easiest thing to do. Really game trying to get to the front runner there, Mr. Mox, who was, receiving a lot of money for the Jamie Nestor, was touted to be very fast, very good early. Loved how Buffalo improved from that first 2-year-old appearance and really showed something here, as well as Slats just on the rail there, just behind him, who I think is a key to this race, because Heavenly Trip ran in front of Slats last time out. And then when you start comparing these speed figures, it does pay to see that there was a big jump in speed figures that second maiden special weight race, and you can see that partly because they start developing, they start getting older, and they run a bit faster.
There's a little, looking at the race again on video, I'm glad you show that, because it really kind of encourages me a bit. He finished well, a little better than Slots there on the inside. They add the blinkers, gets a little bit of extra distance here for Claudio. I know Mr. Mox, the horse that beat him, was a first-time starter from the Ness barn and came back to run a good second next time out at Delaware to a horse called Stand Up Comic, who's going to be a pretty nice colt as well. So Buffalo 9-5, a little shorter price, and we both went though to Heavenly Trip. Brittany Russell second time out, again that key horse in there, Slots. Heavenly Trip against him in his debut as a beaten favorite in that race by Up for the Chance.
Yeah, but we're both looking for Heavenly Trip to take that same step up, to show that he's developed as well as a 2-year-old and can run in those mid-60 numbers, because we know Buffalo has done it. He's a very good-looking 2-year-old as well. He caught my eye for Claudio Gonzalez. So those two are my exacta, the ones that have got prior experience. But you use Lockdown Larry, first-time starter for training Gary
both
Capuano.
Buffalo, Heavenly Trip have the step-up improvement possibly in this race. Lockdown Larry is by Creative Cause out of Steady and Love. If that rings a bell, Steady and Love, campaigned by ZWP stable, I believe. This is a half to Shackle Love, who won the private term stakes. But this time they breed her to Creative Cause. This Creative Cause, I think, a little bit better with early runners and maybe a little bit better with sprinters. He's 10% first out, the sire Creative Cause, but 17% in dirt sprints. He's got some flashy and moderate works, a mix here for Gary Capuano, who really, that play at Gary Capuano in Maryland used to be second time out was almost a cinch, but he actually has a little bit better percentage-wise in the winner's circle than he used to. But I'll tell you, that was like money in the bank. Gary Cap second out. We'll see what he does first time out today. I like the fact that maybe on the sire's side, he's bred to run a little bit early.
Yeah, interesting take there on the sire side, because I thought to myself, well, 10% winners first time out with 2-year-olds, below sire's average, so hence I have him in third, just taking sort of a bit of a wait-and-see approach. Love the workout tab, though. That 1:02 breeze from the gate, just, 5 furlongs from the gate, get them ready in the racing mind. That's the kind of preparation that I look for.
What about this $575,000 purchase, Candy Cool, for West Point? Shug McGahee debuting at 5.5 here in Maryland. It's just an interesting spot for this kind of horse, right? I mean,
very interesting.
Could have run him at Saratoga, but no, not here. But looking at the dam side, Dixie City by Dixie Union broke the maiden second time out, going 5 furlongs. So maybe this colt has a little bit of sneaky early lick. Usually Shug's horses need a race or so. But this is a very, very competitive race. Beyond the horses with a step up in here, I see you got Husband Material in there, American Pharaoh Colt for the Jimmy Toner barn.
Yeah, I ended up going with Husband Material. Sharp work, has no 5 furlong move, so I did wonder about that. Candy Cool, yes, definitely looked into him, caught my eye for certain with that over $500,000 price tag. Dan was the grade 2 Demoiselle Victress, and he's a half-brother to Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile 3rd Blue Chipper. However, what kind of swayed me in the other direction, Shug McGay, 0 from 10 with firsters on the Mid-Atlantic circuit. So what he brings down here might not be his A string, because as you highlighted, can run them up in New York. Wonder how strong this 2-year-old's going to be first time out. I think he's going to be possibly better with a couple of starts on this belt.
Yeah, that dam side encourages me a little bit with the dam, having broken the maiden second out at 5 furlongs. I look for him to finish with some interest in this race, and maybe look for him a little bit to down the line Candy Cool.
Yeah, as we'll get going with the first stakes event, but that also kickstarts the Rainbow Pick 6. So we'll look at my ticket first before heading into why Hello Beautiful is the cinch of the day. $4,719 to get you started, and I do start with a single. Now, is that gutsy? I don't think so. Club Car is out. Hello Beautiful, class of the field, ran too good to lose against Chubwagon last time out. But Chubwagon undefeated. She's very, very fast. Looking forward to Hello Beautiful strutting her stuff again on a track that she knows so well and loves. And of course, how special would it be if Sheldon Russell gets that 1500 victory aboard the horse that really has put his wife and trainer Brittany Russell on the map. So I'll move along from the fact that I do use a single in the first leg. 3 deep in race number 5 on the turf. 239 race number 6. 4 deep there in the deputed testimony, because I think that's wide open. The 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6. I take Magic Michael to try and beat Harper's First Ride. But if Harper's First Ride comes back to peak condition, he absolutely seems to be, the one standing over this field. But don't want to discount Cordmaker, who showed a new dimension 2 starts ago, or Mischief Afoot for Jimmy Toner, who's coming in terrific form. So I wanted to include all of those. Race number 7, maiden 25, 3, 4, and 8. The 3 strolled on by my top selection there. Race number 8, another stakes event here, sprinting. I use the 2, the 4, and the 5 because the more I look at it, I've got the number 5 where she told me to go on top, then Lakai. But I look back at Mucho's race last time out in the Kelly's Landing. Really, really bad trip for him. Was not enjoying himself at all, and ran against Bango, who then came back and won a stakes race by 5 next out. So wanted to include him. Race number 9, I'm hoping we're still doing great here. 3 and 6 over that 6 furlongs nightcap here. $43.20 Rainbow Pick 6 that I definitely think is very much worth playing today. Great card, great sequence. All the stakes races are included. So let's start with the Alma North, and let's look back at that Shine Again stakes. Hello Beautiful against Chubwagon, and wow, what a performance. What a horse race. This is what we're here for, right, Dave? These type of races.
Yeah, I mean, it was a matchup. Chubwagon, the hottest commodity sprinting filly mare-wise, perhaps the Mid-Atlantic, and the Buzz horse right now. Hello Beautiful digging down to the inside after months away from the races. Look at this. She hadn't been out since February. Chubwagon, a little bit more recency to the form. And Hello Beautiful never really gave up, right? And she's fighting all the way down to the line. Chubwagon just a neck best on that particular day. Well, I mean, a lot of people are looking at the pick 6 sequence the same as you, right? They're trying to turn it into a pick 5, right?
Basically, yeah. You see an opportunity, you take it with a horse like her.
Now, I'll let you know about the quarter pole, or maybe actually an eighth of a mile in. If she gets a good break from the gate, she's on the rail, she's traveling comfortably.
I'll be listening to you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They still have to open the gates. They still have to go and they still have to run the race, right? Sure. And the check is not written prior to the start today of the 4th. But certainly, if she runs her A game, she's down the rail there inside with Club Car scratched. Not that was going to make any real difference, because Club Car doesn't have a lot of early speed, but with a good break, she should be able to possibly try to control. Paisley Singing is the interesting horse to me. Now, she was somewhat discouraged at chasing Chubwagon at Delaware and the Dashing Beauty. Maybe today she can just chase Hello Beautiful and stay, or maybe just kind of sit a little bit off of it today. Acosta's done that before with speed horses, not really using them up early. I think she's an interesting, perhaps, well, look at the Frock Barn. That's all you need to know, right? Interesting upsetter of the group of fillies and mares in here, 2-4.
Yeah, I use 2-3-6 for 2-4-3-6 for you. To me, it all lands on Hello Beautiful. How is she going to turn up today? If she's in peak condition, like we think she will be second after that break. That was a tough race, though. Did she bounce a little bit? But if she even runs up to about 90% of her abilities, I think she has them all in this.
Yeah, well, she was supposed to run right against Chubwagon there at Delaware July 10th. They opted not to go to that race, so she's had some time between that race in February to June in here. But again, good break from the gate's going to be the key for her, because I tell you, Paisley's singing. I mean, I've seen her get out there in fast fractions of the opening quarter in a cooking half mile and not give up the ship and not give up the fight.
Yeah, I use the number 3 call on Mischief, just a filly that can sit handily behind the speed. And if she gets back to what she did in the Correcton Stakes at Aqueduct, come with a very willing run late, has to run a career best, though, possibly to topple Hello Beautiful. But I liked her in terms of your exacta and trifecta plays. And both of us also have some interest in Precious for John Service. She has no Pimlico experience, but was a fast closing second in the Power by Far Stakes at Parks last time out.
Easiest kind of winner, going 7-ace, 2 back at Parks. Race last time out just a little too short for her. It looked like she wasn't going to fire at all, and she finally get going, and the real estate ran out. It was only 5 furlongs, and the track somewhat speed favoring there with Hey Mama Luke on the good track. We'll see if she can take a step up today, but I think it's more than a step up. It's maybe triple steps up here against this field.
I think there's a couple of fillies in there that will have to take a couple of steps in one go to best Hello Beautiful here. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the back section of the card.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Pimlico Race Course. We're on race number 5, 9 race card here. 3 stakes event. We've already discussed the first of the 3. We've got 2 more to go. But race number 5, sprinting on the turf for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up, claiming 16 to 12.5. And Dave and I agree in here, which we like, April Ness. I look forward to getting her back on the turf. She's struggled to carry her momentum on the main track as of late, but it's been very, very tough for trainer Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera on the grass.
Yeah, well, she dueled last time out on the dirt, but she kind of turned the key around, turned it around a bit in February at Laurel with a maiden 10 win, and came back at Penn, won another. I thought her race on the turf here in May at Pimlico was very, very good. She never really gave up the fight, gamely chased Shaka Boom home. Will the real Aprilness please stand up? I mean, it's possible that she could win the race, and certainly I think a filly to beat in here, but, you know, she reverts back to that chase and fade mode that she's done before. Maybe the race is a little bit more wide open, and I think that we agree that Grand Skylark will be our main rival today. Aprilness beat her June 21st or June 12th here at Pimlico, a race that was taken off the turf, but Grand Skylark, good clear run on the outside I'm looking for on the grass today. Looking for her first turf win, but she's been consistent on the lawn, and going back to that July race, I thought faced a lot tougher than she's facing today on the lawn back at Laurel Cross Town. That was a while ago, July of 2020.
Well, I look back at her last race. I think she faced classier than what she sees here and tried to close into a below par race, but still did so willingly, all to me move her up. So yeah, agree with our exacta here. I used the 2 and the 8 underneath and used the 4 and the 5 as well. Head back to stakes action in race number 6. We're going a mile and an 8 in the deputed testimony. And what a great race. Really looking forward to this. Let's start with the rail horse, Magic Michael, and look back at his last outing. That was at Delaware. Mile 116 in the Battery Park Stakes, and he was behind a wall of horses. You can kind of see him trying to start making a move there. Had to wait, had to get angled out in the running, but was gearing up incredibly well, and was up against Fat Man, already a Grade 3 winner, and had been running at Grade 1 level before that, Churchill Downs, where he was 5th by only 1 length and a quarter. So really good form race to me, and absolutely not disgrace running second to a horse like that.
Yeah, I saw the comment, a weighted room and rallied, and I said, well, this has got to be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, he did have to wait. I didn't think it was that much trouble, though, honestly. You know, I mean, he was inside the whole way, and maybe the rider never really gave up and quit riding on him, but it was a good effort to Fat Man. I'll give him that. Maybe he'll get the trip today. He's run out of conditions at Park, so they're sending him here in Maryland to take on a couple toughies like Cordmaker and Harper's First Ride and Mischief Afoot, who's on a roll of his own right now. I used him, but I think that Harper's First Ride is just coming right back around for Claudio.
Yeah, we'll look at his sort of comeback race here. Last time out when he was back in the Claudio Gonzalez stable here at Pimlico. Terrific performance there. We were looking for him to show that he's happy to be back. I spoke with Claudio before and after, and he was saying, look, I don't have to do much with this horse. We know what he likes. We let him do his thing, and this is what he showed us. Now, the question is, of course, is he going to get back up to those gaudy triple-digit buyer figures? Because if he is,
I think he's on his way.
the class of the field.
I think he may be on his way. I mean, I thought that was an outstanding race. There were only 5 rivals in there, and they could have chosen perhaps to go to the front and slowed it down like they did in the Grade 3 Pimlico Special win when they went 48-2 for the half mile. But he was ridden with quite a bit of confidence around the turn and settled kind of in between horses around the turn, and then circled 4 deep and ran him down. So I think he's going to improve speed figure-wise off the comeback run, first back into Claudio and coming back. Maybe not a triple-digit number today, but certainly he thrives in that barn. They know the trick. They know the key.
Absolutely. Cordmaker, quite a special horse for Victor Carrasco and trainer Rodney Jenkins. You having your exacta showed a whole new level 2 starts back when Victor sent him to the front, stole it from the front. I thought that was a terrific ride. Now, there also comes the caveat. I don't think that if he went to the lead here, he would be left alone like he was that day in the Harrison E. Johnson Memorial.
Yeah, he's a hard-trying horse, Cordmaker. A little bit up against it last time out against the Lone Speed on a good speed day here at the Pimlico Special on May 14th. You know, he's been lightly raced here, and especially now the older he's getting, he's lightly raced throughout his career. But you know, he's been right there, knocking on the door against Harper's First Ride with a good trip this afternoon. After a bullet work, I think he could come back to top form in this race and maybe give Harper's First Ride a run for the win share money.
Yeah, I do know that, unfortunately for Cordmaker, he's come across Harper's First Ride for the majority of his career on this local circuit, has not been able to best him. So I don't see him doing that today, but never say never with this 6-year-old veteran who's been a terrific servant for the barn. Race number 7, we're back on the turf, 1 mile the distance for maiden claimers who tried to get that first win. And Dave, we were discussing about you mentioned this race when we opened up this show, that you were trying to figure this out. You landed on a horse that I didn't even get to, which I think is super interesting. Leave him loaded for trainer Del Capuano, stretching out from that 5-furlong turf event where he showed a little bit of speed, but then struggled to keep it up.
Well, scratch the 5, tip your hat to that. Major scratch in here, and scratch the 11. Pulling in the horse from New York, dropping for the first time on the turf from 40 to 25 at California Chrome. Lots and lots of chrome. Went back and looked at that race. I couldn't find much excuse for him other than the fact that maybe he rated a little bit against a tougher field. He was wide but kind of flattened out, and I was going to maybe use him in the mix and back and
I
forth.
had him on and off as well. I'm with you there. Yeah, tough race.
So, yeah, you went to the 3 and here strolled on by. I mean, he's the kind of horse maybe I regret leaving off the ticket underneath. But I'm going to take a shot here with Dale Capuano, first off the claim. He's always good off the claim, especially with 3-year-olds. He can improve them. He's 28% with 3-year-olds first off the claim. Now, is he going to like the turf stretch out? Well, he tried the turf for his former trainer on 4th of July here, the race that he was claimed out of, and I thought he ran okay. They just outkicked him early, 22-246-2. Yep. This is a different ball game here for 25 going long, and I think I'm going to give him a chance here, especially because he'll be double digits or maybe right close to it.
I think this is the race to go for double-digit horses. Absolutely. Well, I ended up on Strolled On by possibly going to take more money because he remains at the distance and the surface, which he has gathered him his best figures to date. That 61 buyer, I think, is terrific and holds up in here, especially now. Tip your hat to that isn't reopposing him.
Yeah, tip your hat to that. Made the move, kind of flattened out. He's done that a couple of times. Strolled On by. I've seen him run a few times. He kind of makes the same moves as tip your hat to that. True. He gets there, doesn't follow through. Again, if I want to use him underneath or maybe include him in that ticket, I don't know. The 2 was kind of my long shot play. Jack Milton, 13% turf winners for Jack Milton. And the second dam is interesting to me. I called her at Colonial Downs, I think it was, Sadler's Sarah, who won $108,000 on the turf. So disregard the first start. They tried to get him on the grass. It was a sprint, had an awkward break, and now he's basically, the stretch out's going to help him if he has any kind of ability on the grass. That second dam is a kind of a hidden gem there, and he's 15-1 on the line.
I love it. Wide open field here in race 7 as we'll close things off in terms of our stakes action with race number 8, the Challender, named after Horse of the Year Challender, Maryland-bred Preakness winner. The list goes on for his accolades. 6 furlong the distance and absolutely a couple of heavy hitters in here. Let's look back at the race that a lot of them competed in, the Frank Whiteley, which for some is 2 starts ago. Looking at where she told me to go first, because he was a bit unfortunate. You just kind of saw the horse, the rail runner on the inside, stumble and catch him on his hind end. Ends up just not performing because of that, most likely would have been his excuse. And then we're looking at veteran Lakai making his move, and Lebda as well. And those are 2 horses that have faced each other before. Lakai being the one that ends up on top there. You can see him for trainer Damon De Lodovico, his first ever graded stakes victor in the De Francis Dash in 2020, getting the win here. I mean, this is a race that I'm actually very much looking forward to. You see Lakai getting the spoils here. I'm going with where she told me to go, who I'm hoping will get back to his winning ways at Pimlico. Showed he was there again at Delaware last time out.
I could have easily flipped them. I love gritty 8-year-old who keeps on trying, 11-time winner. So is where she told me to go. Lakai, kind of the elder of the 2 there. I've got a couple of years experience on where she told me to go. But Karamanos fits him. He always tries. The only time he really didn't fire in recent races, and then he wasn't beaten that far, was at Pimlico here in the Maryland Sprint, a grade 3 race. And he was down inside, but only beaten 4 lengths by Special Reserve, who rubber stamped that with the next out win as well. I don't think there's much between them. This could be one heck of a sprint down to the line between them.
I agree. I think these are tough to separate, and hence I don't mind taking a fair few of these in here, but really looking forward to see if where she told me to go can get it done, or indeed the veteran Lakai, who's kind of the house horse, isn't he, for Damon De Lodovico, who's with us here on the production team. Yeah,
I mean, Damon's horse yesterday, the walk, what a great job of getting that horse ready after time away. A lot of people thought maybe you had that horse on top, didn't you? I thought it was a sloppy track fluke or something or other, but they're taking their time with him, and they had I think a good second or third. Was it Hufflepuff? He was in the money yesterday, wasn't he? Hufflepuff, so the barn's sitting on all cylinders, but then oh, hi Brittany, here you are, where she told me to go. 11-time winner as well. So hoping for a clean break, a clean trip for both runners today. Shouldn't be a problem in this in the Celadon. Now, what about Lebda?
Lebda on the rail had a freshener, didn't perform in that Maryland sprint, but before that was getting closer with each stride to trying to get to Lakai. Bested Eastern Bay, was a very tough customer. Can Lebda get back to his winning ways? I love actually how Lebda has found just a whole new dimension, new lease on life in the sprinting distance, because he's quite a big horse.
Yeah, well, early on, he was a sprinter and he was a closer. And then all of a sudden, stretching out like the Miracle would way back in 2020, he showed speed. Then they really thought he was going to be a distance horse, but I think he's a little bit better sprinter. He's fresh since the mid-May run in the Maryland Sprint where Lakai was in there against Special Reserve. So he's fresh. Don't know what kind of trip he's going to do today, what their plans are. Maybe they'll try to go from the rail here with Lebda.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Indeed, a fresh sprinter coming in. You don't want to sit on him. The nightcap, race number 9, 6 furlong the distance, optional claimer starter allowance. Dave, we're completely disagreeing in the nightcap as well. I love it. I go with the number 6, Ink on top. You use Spice the Red from Marius Ray Jr. on a quick 7-day turnaround. Yeah,
that 7-day turnaround. I think last time I was on the show, you would have mentioned that the quick turnaround for Mario Saray. My horse didn't fire that day, but I'm hoping this one does. I thought he ran a very, very good effort, a good race on the 2 turns, off the claim, comes back in a week. Nobody was going to beat Miami Mumbles, who drew off into another zone that day and winning by 9. So he probably thought he won, Spites to Red. And I think he's a little bit better coming back and sitting right off the pace. And I think he's going to get a little bit of a kick in front of him with Dialing Dixie, Rapid, maybe Degas for sure, showing some early speed. And Kickstarter might go down to the inside too. I think he'll sit a great trip today as Spites to Red, who ran a week ago.
Yeah, I wasn't as sure if I liked him as much sprinting as that effort going long. So I landed on the number 6, Ink, for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, up against prior winners now for the 2nd time in his career. Showed plenty of willingness late and wasn't disgraced when chasing a loose leader last time out. So I like him coming back at that similar level.
Yeah, I mean, the 11-length score for maiden 40 was impressive for sure. He didn't beat a lot that day, but I thought the race against Contraflow was a much improved effort. And he's a Bourbon Courage, so he's going to sprint. I mean, early in his career, his first 2 efforts sprinting, not that bad at all. He ran on a slop and disregard that, but his fast track sprints are okay, and he's improved a lot since then. So I really, really fear him a lot in this spot, actually. I'm going to use 4 and 6 in my late double plays.
Yeah, I do like your 4 as well. Let's move on to lightning round for some other topics. We'll start with highlighting today as the Awareness Day for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. It was set up in 2006, and the organization helps jockeys that have been unfortunately disabled due to their activities on the track with resuming some form of normality in their life. They support about 60 jockeys at present on a monthly basis. So an absolutely terrific organization and initiative. And of course, it's also saluting the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah, a Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, something worth looking at today. pdjf.org/donate. If you go to the pdjf.org website, they have some stories of riders who recently sidelined with catastrophic on-track injuries, and as you said, 60 riders. That's a really good cause today. If you have an extra 10, 20, 30 bucks in your pocket, whatever you can afford, maybe you'll hit that pick 6 today off of your ticket, maybe make a contribution. Nonetheless, win or lose, it's a great cause to support.
Yeah, and we have to congratulate 2 jockeys on their doubles yesterday. We had Charlie Marquez increasing his lead, and we see him there. That was his first win on Petition Prayer, but I highlighted that because that was our 2-year-old race, which I thought was a tremendous race. You can see them all fighting, and Charlie Marquez really riding high. And then, of course, Forest Boys with a late double in race number 7 and race number 8.
Yeah, this is an interesting run from Petition Prayer. Never really used the crop in that race, just kind of let her do her own thing. A lot of people who looked at that comment off the first run, right, full of run or energy or whatever it was yesterday, made a nice score there, and the runner-up looks like it's going to be a nice filly there for the Brittany Russell barn. Charlie Marquez and Forrest Boyd trips back-to-back yesterday.
Yeah, talking about the Russells, Sheldon Russell is looking to achieve a career landmark. He's one win away from his 1500th victory. And of course, we were already highlighting how special would it be if it turns out to be the victory on Hello Beautiful in the Alma North. You saw Brittany Russell, his wife and trainer, in the footage just before. This is the filly that put them on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sheldon, you know, for years and years, has been probably one of the most solid finishers here in Maryland. He can get the job done. If you're in a head-to-head battle down the stretch, you want Sheldon's muscle power on your side. So good luck today. A good trip for Sheldon Russell, getting its way to 1,500 career wins. Nice milestone.
Yeah, we'll be cheering him on. He's got 3 chances today, so keep your eyes peeled on Sheldon Russell. As we'll wrap it up, the handicapping show. But Dave, you'll be back with the scratches and changes, won't you?
Shortly, in just a second. I'm enjoying this 20-degree weather. Celsius.
Absolutely. Good luck, everyone.